So now what I will do is I will just log in again. So now I will just run plan again. My curiosity is coming with understanding why I cannot return this one, since I already have this one become empty. So it's a non-value, right? I mean, this one is non-value, so we don't really want to do that anyhow. So what I can do is just do a lookup 17, and this one should be one, and yeah. And I'm not sure it's supposed to not be known, right? And if it's known, then what I should do? Okay, so if this one is known, then I should not return it. But how do I know? I was trying to see if this was actually a virtual machine, and if it's known, then I will just not run into it. So I should just say if this one is available. Yeah. So that's look good. Let me just run the console for this one. So what it's expecting is that in the local dot. Okay, I actually have my title key here. But it's so long. I'm not sure why it's that long. So first of all, we have to load the service. It's a lot of floppy key out here. I mean, can we flatten this down for reasonable? I mean, this one is so okay. I forgot that we need to point to what is just go the public key open SSH, and we want to trim space as well. So trim space. Okay. Let's just run it again. So this is where you actually need to spend time. It's hard. You have to play with the logic around. So it's very fun. You know, it's like kid kid games where trying to make something logic happening. It's the same thing. It's just a different way of representing a game of chess, something like that. So, okay, this one I definitely not sure what is EOT, but I think I can do some kind of trim space for this guy as well. So it's a little bit less. Just run again. It's a private key, so I'm not that worried. I would say it's just the private key. The password could be worry a bit. It's a hash password. I might want to disable my password anytime in the future, but for now I just really don't even want to do that. So because I really want to at least log into somewhat users in my Proxmox console. If I don't have any password, I cannot log into it. So looks, I think it's look overall good to me. I don't see anything to concern about this one. So every node we have at least a public key here, and then except for the last node here, you can see it's actually referring the node the password the key for this guy, and yeah, this guy has a private key. So my takeaway here, this is the private key is sensitive, so I'm not going to go further inject the private key into user data, but you might want to insert a private key into your user config, but you have to ignore that file somehow, because you don't want to have some kind of render file out here, and then suddenly it becomes something that can become harmful, because I store private key here and everything here, so you really want to ignore that file. So yeah, just remove it. So now, as you already know, you need to convert. You need to put it to the data here. You will see my private key, but it is okay. It's a Terraform resource, so I not that much worry. So what I will render out is it will be this guy. In user data, so that's the first thing, and we okay, just for each, yeah, just for each. And then what you have next, you have to change the name of the generated file. So this one is very important if you become a part of your configuration. So the things I'm missing here, I would say I'm missing is the target node. You know, the target node is something I need to add anyways. But I would just concat. I would just concat the whole thing here. So you have the host name equal the name. But for some reason, you can just remove it, because yeah, you actually need to add it. Sorry guys. Yeah, so you have to concat this one. Okay, you know what? I only need the target node, so target node will be config.target node, and possibly the VMID. So that's it. Those are the things I need to have this one running and working. So yeah. Okay, I'm not sure where is my pre-commit file, but it's in the data form. It's supposed to be running, right? Okay, that's good. So yeah. So I have the host name, I have the target node, so that will bring up to here. But you, in OneNote, you only care about the host name and VMD. So here's what I will do. I will get h.value, h.key first, and then h.value. The key will be the node name, and the ID here will be the VMID. Okay, just close it down for a second. Okay. How the hell I conflict this one? Okay. So similar thing when you draw it here, you basically want to add this one as well, but you have to look through some kind of I'm not saying the physical node. I would rather say the I would rather say look through the not a physical node. Obviously, we are not talking about the physical node. We're talking about the uploaded file here, so we should look through the local user data. And here the host name of the Proxmox servers is actually in this part where we just go to my TFR first. I will actually look through this guy. So we have the physical node here. So physical node is where you contain the host name. So you basically have to go through it and put in the h.value dot target node, and then you get the host name here. It's a bit long, but it's okay. I want it to work first. So I need to upload all this user data file, but to really successfully render it out, you must provide with sufficient things. So there's some change with my user data here in terms of structure. So to map it with template, you basically you have to, okay, there's another thing. So the render file here, I forgot to say that you have to put in h.key as a key for that. Similar to this one, is the default ID of this resource will be the I think the node name. Yeah, I mean it could be conflict in the future if I have some kind of if the name is something else. It could be I think it's better to map with the target node and the VMID, so we construct a much stricter combination of ID. The host name and the VMID. So host name, target node, host name, VMID. I think that is a good combination out there. So similar to so you know, you will certainly ensure that this key will be unique for all the nodes, so you don't need to worry much about it. So the rendering here, I perhaps would say I would just add another things called the target node. So yeah, so target node. You know what? Let's just use each key. That's enough because it has everything there. And when you actually upload it, you have to compliant with here. You actually reference it here. So I would just go with h.key. That is sufficient. Yeah. Why not? Let's simplify the whole fucking things. Obviously, the key here, when you try to map from the virtual machine to these Cloudinit things, you have to reconstructing that same key, you know. But that is another topic. So for now, let's just go back here and try to map this thing into our template. So let me open the template now for a second. So here you have the host name. So yeah, you do have the host name, and then you looking for the password. You do have the password here, but in the users, that is okay. And then you talk about the SS key. I think it's the same. It doesn't different much. So the most important thing when you pass the value in, you actually want to pass in the h.value, you know, instead of the user data as a whole. So just make sure you don't forget that. So let's just run the plane again. So let me check for a second what is wrong with this one. So I'm not sure. Let's okay, if I do something like this one, you can actually I think we have to do something like this one. So you don't need to concat the string in a weird way. Yeah. So let's just run a plan again. So for this moment I'm trying to create, okay, it's very okay. For this moment I'm trying to create an user data file, and then when we have the user data we can actually do a mapping to our nodes, and then we can run some Ansible script, you know, just to see if it's actually working. So it's really fun to have every puzzle come together and creating some amazing result. I do it as a hobby. It's really not my profession right now. In my real day job, I really just working with Terraform code in Google Cloud Platform. I'm going to go join another project. Hopefully they will take me in their team. I just send a bit high expectation, but I'm not sure if they take a risk. But yeah, I asking them for, I cannot explore my. So anyways, if I able to get 1 billion Vietnam dollars per year, it's just huge for me. It's just huge to know that I can get great. Okay, this is huge. Okay, this is good. So let's just look at the render user data here. So we have the Ansible 400, Robinson 200, and it just look very nice. I mean, look at this. We have the authority, we have the authority. The only thing we don't have here is a private key. So that's exactly what I will do now. I will add the private key to the user data somehow, and yeah. So as key, we have the private key here. I'm not sure about the users and things like that, but we can try to look at the config here to really see if there's an option for the private key. Okay, so there's no place to put the private key here, which is surprised me a bit. So yeah, I don't know. We can take a shot for that. But you know what, before I do that, I will just map the template anyways. Private key will be later. So let's just go to our Cloudinit.ts, and yeah, let's just follow through this guy and actually create version of it. So we have the legacy one, which is here on the right hand right screen, and then I have to map from pick all the making sense for me on the right to the left. So I still look to the virtual machines as I always do. I will talk about this depend on later, and then the name of the key, tag and node will be the same. No different in this term. OS type, okay, I will just strip it away. Let's just remove it for now. Again, for the ISO, I will feel a bit strange by removing this one, but yeah, I used to spend a lot of time just to understand how I can map it to the ISO file, but for now I just don't see the reason why I need to keep this one since Cloudinit is already working. I will keep this one though. I will keep this one. I will just comment it out for now. So the virtual VMID will be same things, description same things. The whole on root things keep the same. The memory here, yeah, I will change it to dynamic one. We will have a CPU become host or host network. We don't care about that. Remove it away. Define the config info. We don't care about that as well. The network, we don't care about that. The disk, we have the dynamic disk, so I will just copy the disk here to this guy, and we will have the clone. I think the clone is okay. Keep it the same. We don't change it, but yeah. So the address is, I think we have to change it anyways. So we have to change it to something else. Will be this, and the rest is the CI custom. So for the CI custom, another thing is this one. So I think that's pretty much it. This one is still OC code, so I'll just comment it down, and I will change this one to VM, a very short name. Or I can just join the virtual machines. Yeah, more friendly. Anyways, so the most important thing is that the CI custom here, I need to change it to the correct name. So as you all know, in my user data here, I have the different name for each of them. The name should be constructed in a way that is just like the locals here, you can see. So I need to open the locals out to reconstruct this one into a correct format. So if I go to Proxmox server, and if I go to var lead and go to the snippet, wait me for a second. Did I upload this one already or not? Oh, it should be in Litchi. Okay, so let's go to Litchi. So leave easy snippet. Okay, so it should be something like this one. So exactly the user data in written in the virtual machine here. I need to change this for a second. Okay. So this is a key supposed to be look like, but you know what, the target node is not here, so I have to change it to h.value. The name is h.key, and the VMID is h.vmid. Similarly, I would just depend on this specific key, which is the equivalent to CI upload here. It will be the key of this guy. So I think that's pretty much it. We can just run a plan just to see what is going on, and run recommit again. So email expression, I think I referred this wrongly. I'm not sure why. Yeah, let's just not go with this one. I know it's had multiple resources in it, but yeah, we just remove it now. Just run the plan again. I think I typed it wrong, so this one should be h.value. Sorry guys, it's a mistake on my own, happens in some time. It's actually always, but so I just changed it for a second, correcting it. So the most important things when you define something new in this one, you care about the DFI itself. So this is the whole thing. Yeah, so okay, the value doesn't have the name. I forgot that it should be h.key instead. So the template is something I really questioning myself here. I mean, the template is dynamic, right? I mean, I supposing is to be there. Okay, just look at this. Okay, to do that, we should have the template file somewhere, which is this one. And we are targeting the lychee node. So I think this is good to be applied. The only thing missing is obviously the private key for the Arecibo node, but I will go back to this later. I really want to SSH to it successfully first, use it for my own machine to both nodes. So when I looking at this virtual machine, it's so cold. So there's one thing I'm thinking is that do I need to put this outside, or if this one is not existed, I think I will need to put some kind of documentation here just to you guys know that. So the problem playbook must be run first. So it will be possible use the playbook. No, sorry, Proxmox playbook Cloudinit. Kubeadm template. So in the future, if I look at this, I might understand what I should do if I have some error in this part. Okay, this one is working. It surprised me that let me just console it. So it's good enough. That's good enough again. This is just a small test. The big test will come with the Ansible code. So yeah, I mean, worked perfectly. So I will just try to access to local server 2. I already have my host set up. So yeah, so I can access to it and through the root and through Ansible node as well. Just remove the host for now. yeah, it's just perfectly working. I mean, come on, look at this. It's huge, guys. Now, the most amazing things about this is that I don't need to run to the setup step when I create a new virtual machine. It's huge. It's huge. I have to put a smile on my face now because I have spending so much time just to try to have the Cloudinit config running. The whole things that the most value about, if you talk about the money, this is a money here. This is a template file for the Cloudinit config. I have never thought it is running, but at least now is this running, so it's amazed me a lot. So my next video, I will talk about adding the private key to the Ansible node. To really constructing the diagram I draw to show you guys before. So yeah. Yep.